Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Marin and here you will find a little beauty, a little books, and a little teaching content. So if that sounds like something you might enjoy, I would love for you to subscribe and stick around and join me in my little corner of YouTube. Today's video is going to be my finale for the 10 items I want to use up before 2024 project that I did in December. So let's go ahead and get into it. So before I talk about the items, I will go ahead and link you to that video up above in the cards. This was just a list of 10 items that I was hoping I was going to be able to finish before the end of the year so that I wouldn't be bringing them into 2024. Now I did pretty well. I finished more than I didn't, but I did not finish all of them. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the ones that I finished first. All of these were seen in my empties, but I didn't actually mention that they were part of that project. I just wanna go ahead and formally wrap that up here so we can move on to new things in the new year. So let me go ahead and just pull them out randomly. So the first one I have here is the Kale Laluyaha AHA toner from Crave Beauty. I did finish this. You can see it is all the way gone. I did wind up using this on my body as well as my face in order to get it finished, which was fine because another item that I wanted to use up were these Kopari KP Body Bumps Be Gone clarifying body pads that look like this. So once this was done, which this does have AHA in it, I went ahead and used this in its place. So I was able to finish both of these items up. This one I would not repurchase mostly because I don't like the single-use pads, but this one I also won't be repurchasing because I've decided I want to do BHA rather than AHA on my face. I just think it reacts a little bit better. So both of these are used up. So that is 2 of the 10 done. The next 2 items also kind of go together because they are the same type of item. So I had this Way Leave-In Conditioner Spray, and I also had the AG Hair Care Fast Food Leave-In Conditioner. So here they are. They are both finished. I talked about these in my empties. This one I did not like the smell of, nor does this form of leave-in conditioner really work in my routine because my curl cream needs to be put in sopping wet hair. This is supposed to be sprayed on damp hair before you style, but I squish all of my products in and then let them sit. That's how I get the best results. So something like this just doesn't work. I wouldn't repurchase it even if I did like the smell, but also it's kind of expensive. Way is not the cheapest. And then this one is also one that I will not be repurchasing mostly because, again, I don't feel like a leave-in conditioner really fits into my routine. So while I did enjoy this, this is another one I'm happy to have used up and gotten out of my collection. I did cut this one open, so I got every little bit out of it, and I'm happy to send it on its way. I will not be repurchasing. So that's 4 of the 10 items that I did manage to use up. Next, I have 2 makeup items that I also managed to use up. The first was a concealer. It is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. This was in the shade Fair Rose, which is too light to use on its own, so I used it as like a highlighter. It was fine. I feel like it left my skin kind of shiny though, which I don't like. I am oily, so this is not ideal. I was glad to use this up. And then the other one was a setting spray. This was the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Matte Finish Setting Spray. I did use this up. I used this to wet my brushes when I wanted to like do like a wet look with my eyeshadow, but I also used it as a setting spray. I don't recommend it that way. I didn't really think it did much of anything. I felt like it left me looking kind of oily. As this got down towards the end of the product though, it started squirting out really randomly in like spurts and just making a big mess. So there's actually the slightest little bit of product left in here. I cannot get it out. Also, this pump would stick, so you'd squeeze it and it would stick down. You would have to like forcefully pull it back up and then do it again and then pull it back up. So this was just not great in terms of product or packaging, so I'm happy that I went ahead and got this finished up by the end of the year. So that brings me to 6 items that I did manage to finish, but that's where we have to stop. I have 4 other items here that I did not quite manage to get done. So let's talk about the one that I made the least amount of progress on first, and that was this Vaseline Lip Therapy Advanced Healing. This is just a lip balm. I was hoping this would be thick enough to use at night, but it was not. So this is definitely just like a grab and go daytime type lip balm. So I'll just put it in my purse, carry it around that way, try to use it up that way. I gave up using this as a night lip balm like pretty early on in December because it was not doing anything for my lips. I would wake up and they would be very dry. So this one's just not something that I can use in that capacity. So I went ahead and just kind of set it aside and kind of gave up on it in terms of the project. The next item I have is this e.l.f. Instant Lift Brow Pencil, and this one was a bit of a stretch anyway, but I've actually made very good progress on it. So the littlest bit is left, which I will obviously finish up in January. So this one's close to being all the way used up, but you need so little of it that I should have known that I wasn't going to get through that whole amount in the month. But I am happy that I've gotten it down to just the tiniest little nub. Hopefully in a couple of weeks, I will be able to formally put this in my empties. Then I had this Dr. Scholl's Ultra Hydrating Foot Cream, which I was actually using as a hand cream. So here's what it looks like. This is getting down to the bottom. It's getting kind of hard to squeeze out. See, it does like the squirt thing. I liked this decently well. It is not meant to be a hand cream, so it definitely is a thicker texture. It takes a bit to sink in. I'm putting it on right now just to kind of try to get these last little bits used up, but it is good for overnight. Now, if you do not get it blended all the way in, it does leave this white powdery substance on your hands, which obviously is not great. So it is a foot cream. Again, I just want to say that obviously it's not meant for your hands, but I do feel like it hydrates them nicely. So I will continue to use this up. I'm thinking maybe a week at most, and this will probably be gone because it is getting very hard to squeeze out of the tube. I am not going to cut this open. I don't love it that much, but I will use up all of the product that will actually come out. So you will see this in my next empties, and I will be very glad to have moved this on. And the last item is this Eva NYC Satin Dream Smoothing Leave-In Cream. This is just something that I'm going to have a hard time using because it says use me on damp hair prior to styling. And as I've already mentioned with the leave-in conditioners, I put my products in wet hair. I then let it set and then I blow dry so that it creates like a cast. So I really don't have a place for this in my routine. So I am not sure how I'm going to go about using the last bit of this up. There's not a ton left. So if I show you on the stopper, you can see is kind of clumped right there at the end. There's just very little product left, but it's going to be a challenge to get it used up because it just does not fit in my hair care routine. So I'll see what I can do. I'm not just gonna throw it away. But yeah, this one caused me some problems because I just wasn't sure how best to go about using it. Those are the 10 items that I was wanting to use up before 2024. I managed with 6 of them. I didn't with 4, but I feel like 3 of the 4 should be gone pretty quickly within the first month. This one, I don't know. I'll have to see what I can do. If you have any ideas for how I can use this, please let me know in the comments because this one is definitely the one that's going to give me some trouble. But otherwise, that's it. That wraps up this project. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel if you would like to see more from me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.